Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. I'm just going to play this clip about what was on morning television, breakfast television. It's quite a good thing what they were talking about, basically, which is what everybody in the country thinks. But of course, not everybody in Parliament and politicians are listening to the people. Well, I hope they will do, and they keep getting this from the public. And it's interesting to sort of watch this, and I'll just play the video. It's quite long, but I'll try and edit it down with my poor editing skills. But as I say, if you just play it a bit, you'll find out what really the conversation is about with everybody in this country. What it highlights: two people talking about the BBC, how it should be funded, and with this new culture minister, how things may change. So I'm going to play into it now and just sort of play some of it, what it's all about, and what I'll make a judgment after.
And is considering other ways to fund the corporation. The Culture Secretary, Nadine Dorries, has questioned whether the annual fee is appropriate in the age of streaming giants.
Well, one thing certain, change is definitely coming, but as this BBC advert from the 1980s shows, the corporation has used the unique way that it's always been funded to give us a wide variety of programming, which has generated, obviously, a vast quantity of iconic British TV stars. Let's have a quick look. Ah, I hear you say, but that was then. That was...
So they cut that bit out, because obviously they wouldn't be able to show adverts on YouTube. You know, they weren't allowed to show the adverts, so they cut that bit out, which is just about a license, telling you how to pay license fee and adverts with the old detective van coming round the house. That's basically what it was, as far as I can make out. But this next part coming up is something I want to discuss, because it's two people's side of the story. One who wants change and one who wants to keep with the main situation as it goes. The gravy train carries on. He's an ex-BBC work person, a journalist on Newsnight, of course, and he's adamant that the BBC is a auntie kind of thing, which is totally out of date. So I'm going to play this video for you in a minute, this other part of it, and see what you think.
Before we moved into a
What has the BBC ever done since then?
But, well, we now live in a multimedia universe, so the landscape has completely changed from when that was made. So the question that many are asking, including the government, is the BBC worth the money? Joining us now is John Sweeney, who says absolutely. He's a former Newsnight and Panorama reporter who believes the BBC is the glue that holds Britain together, and political commentator Lynn May, who says that we should be scrapping the licence fee altogether. Well, let's start with you then. What would you replace? How would you fund the BBC if you were to do that?
Well, if the BBC is as great as everyone says it is, then it should be a subscription fee, or it should be adverts, something of that nature. I love the BBC. I think it's amazing, it's iconic, but I just don't think that we should be forced to the point of we could face prison if we don't pay for it. In 2019, 122,000 people were prosecuted, and the convictions were over 114,000. And in 2016, 90 people went to prison. I just don't think that is acceptable.
John, I think the BBC is worth every penny, and of course I spent a very long time, as you did, working for the BBC, and I'm very grateful to the BBC. But whether you think it's worth the money is a separate argument, I think, as Lynn says, to being forced to pay that money. What do you think? Should it simply be not a criminal offence, an option to pay the licence fee?
Good racehorses cost money, and the thing is that... Okay,
sorry, I didn't hear you. What costs money?
Good racehorses cost money. The thing is, this is important, the BBC, because it's part, as I said, it's part of the glue that holds the United Kingdom together, and I think all nationalism is wrong. English nationalism, Scottish nationalism, Welsh nationalism, Irish nationalism, it can go to a dark place, and I saw that happen in former Yugoslavia. The BBC is part of the thing that keeps the United Kingdom together as a country. Also, it's about us, it's about projecting our culture, our society, in a way that Hollywood would not do. Yes, there's The Crown. Netflix is great, but it's from Hollywood. Hollywood is in another country, and if you switch off the BBC and you undermine, it's slightly weird, excuse me, an old-fashioned money tree. If you switch that off, if you kill that, then it won't be replaced by anything like as British or interested in what
yes,
we
but
do.
we live in a culture of choice, don't we? And we pay for our choices. For example, if I want to watch Netflix, I'll pay for Netflix, and I do. And if I want to watch Sky, I'll have a Sky subscription, and I do. Just to take your argument head on, why should I be paying for Radio 1 that I never listen to? Why should I be subsidising Radio 3, which I never listen to? I actually listen to Classic FM rather than Radio 3. I find Radio 3 too abstruse. There are all sorts of BBC functions and services which cost a lot of money that I'm paying for in my licence fee. Why should I?
Because it's in the same way that you pay your taxes, Richard. Because you don't say when you pay your taxes, I'm going to pay for that ship, but I'm not going to pay.
No, but I elect a government. I elect a government to spend my taxes.
But this is part. It's an anomaly, and it's a bit like defending a dinosaur. But what I'm saying is, this dinosaur is good. The other thing is, why has this come up right now? Now, because is it possible that we're protecting Big Dog? That what's really happening here is the Conservative Party machine in trying to save the disgraced Boris Johnson.
You're right, but that doesn't actually undermine this discussion and having the argument.
So what I'm saying is that if there are bits of the BBC that, listen, I worked there for 17 years. I could go on all day about how all the bad things are.
Just take commercials.
However, I think it is a noble thing and it is good for our country. It doesn't like
you could preserve all of those.
A day.
You could preserve all of those if you funded it differently. You could have exactly the arguments that you just put forward. So why not just take commercials?
With council tax, say for example, it's tangible. If I pay council tax, I expect to see my bins being collected. I expect the roads to be a certain way. To be forced to pay for TV licence when I potentially don't even watch a lot of the BBC or any at all, I could watch live TV in Mongolia. I'd still have to pay my TV licence. To me, that doesn't make any sense, and it's not tangible. I agree. It's an amazing thing. It's a part of it underpins British television. It's one of the first, if not the first. Why should I have to face prosecution if I don't pay it?
What you're hearing, John, from both Richard and Lynn is really an argument for the privatisation of the BBC. I mean, what Richard's saying, it's interesting because what comes to mind when you say, well, why should I pay for the BBC licence fee when I don't listen to Radio 1 or Radio 3? You pay for the NHS through your national insurance, even though you may never, want IVF, for instance, personally, or you may never need cancer treatment, or, there's plenty of things available on the NHS.
But I elect a government on its agenda on how it's going to spend my tax money. I have a choice in that matter. I don't have a choice. It's a matter of criminality if I don't pay my licence fee. Whereas I elect a government to spend money on my behalf on the NHS or anything else.
Yeah, well,
or defence, or you name it.
The NHS will be.
So there we have it, folks. An interview, and I applaud Mr. Richard Madeley here. He's pointing a view which a lot of people have at the present time. And of course, on the other side, you've got the dinosaur. A racehorse should be, fed, everything else. But sometimes a racehorse can go to the racetrack and be crap. Can't run. It costs a lot of money to run, but at the same time, it finishes last on the racecourse. It could be bred to be the fastest horse in Shergar, but it can finish last and be no good. And he's trying to say, this BBC newscaster, that it's there, it's a part of our history, part of our DNA stuff and all the auntie stuff and all this. And the other side, the girl was saying it should be there for people to watch when they want to watch it, if they want to watch it by subscription. I shouldn't have to be forced to become a criminal or be put in jail. And of course, this is what he says. It's an institution. Of course, people have gone to jail for their beliefs of not paying the TV licence. You know, heroes, in my respect, have gone to jail. They've not paid it. Well, whether they wanted to pay or not, and they didn't pay, but they went to jail. But maybe they didn't approach it the right way, or not to pay. Like I've not paid any licence fee for 3 years. But I'm just going to play a bit more of the video, basically, and make you think. Obviously, if anybody missed this, because I only came across it, and of course I'm trying to edit it to cut it down and get my point of view, because this is the point of view of my channel. It's having an argument about it, and of course this new minister is looking at it, so it's in the public eye, and the public will decide, basically. You vote for the politicians, say we're not going to pay anymore, we don't want this, we want it on a subscription base, we want it to be like Netflix situation, subscription or other things, and they could, like Richard Maynard was saying, you can bring advertisements in, you can go commercial, be privatised, sell it off, and have a company running it, except ex-politicians, university types, people on the gravy train, you know, and they can pay people what they like then. He said, I don't care, they pay Gary Lineker £2 million for half an hour's work. That's up to it, the company. Somebody, you know, wants to pay you rich money, you know, rich man's money, fair enough, to get the best people. That's why some people like, look at Ricky Gervais, he's got a new great programme on Netflix. It is a really good programme, and Netflix have backed him all the way to it's Afterlife. You know, it is a great. I'm just about to watch it now, actually, but it's something that, you know, the BBC have to think about. They have to commercialise the actual corporation needs to be slimmed down and run like a proper TV company, not a job for the boys. So I'm just going to let this run on a bit now and sort of see what you think.
No, the NHS is something that's massively needed. It saves lives. We're talking about entertainment. The BBC is entertainment.
Well,
no, it's not just entertainment.
What else is it?
It's also, it gives you honest news.
News is a form of entertainment.
No, it's more than that.
And it's not that impartial. It's not that impartial anymore either.
No, that is not true. No, you should spend more time in Russia. You should spend more time in Russia, and then you see a closed society where actually you don't go to prison. I think if you because there isn't a license fee in Russia. But what there certainly is, there is political power where there is no scrutiny.
John.
And one of the things the BBC does is provide scrutiny to power. And I get worried when the government says, "Oh, let's kill this thing." I know it's a dinosaur. I know that this crazy financial model is like 100 years old. However,
they're not saying kill the BBC. They're saying we fund it differently.
Yeah, definitely
all right,
kill it.
okay. The problem is that it has a lot of money and it does amazing things.
John,
for our country.
But it's distributed
intrinsically, very quickly, what is intrinsically more noble and more representative of this country on the BBC News at 10 and ITV's News at 10? Why is BBC News at 10 intrinsically more valuable than ITV's News at 10? I don't understand that.
I wasn't saying that. Actually,
the news
ITN has more scoops and better packages, I would say, but that's an internal argument with BBC management, which I'm very happy to have at any time. However, the BBC is a great big thing, and what it does is it projects our country, our values, our sense of fun, and also tells honest news to the people.
Okay, Lynn, I wouldn't normally ask a guest how...
So this is the gentleman who thinks that it's a racehorse, streamlined, dinosaur, spends lots of money, it's out of date, 100 years out of date, and still he backs it. I hope he doesn't back any horses anyway, not a gambler. He seems to lose a lot of money because, and you can tell Alex Belfield about news, impartial news, and what Alex Belfield's been through. I don't think the BBC should be impartial and stuff like that. You know, I don't think they are, to be honest with you. They're just, I don't really know what to say about that because, you know, whether you can trust them at all. So, this is the one person that, you know, who's backing the BBC in the argument. We should keep it as it, shouldn't change it, keep it going, keep the gravy train, keep on going. Of course, he's an ex-employee. Got a good pension, been there 18 years working with them. He probably still gets 1 or 2 jobs from them to do and stuff. So he's one of the boys basically. So he's backing them to the hilt. And this is what you get with BBC ex-employers, apart from something like Alex, who's worked for them and knows what they're like. Anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there because it obviously run on a bit. I just thought I'd let you know about the video and thought, well, it's something that I wanted to show people what goes on. If you missed it, you know, I mean, you're at work or something. I was out the way at the time, and I missed this particular program. I don't really watch a lot of ITV anyway, and terrestrial news. I got it from YouTube, which I watch, of course. I don't watch ITV or terrestrial news because I haven't got an air on. I haven't got a license, so I don't watch live television. I get everything on YouTube. Anyway, folks, I hope you found it interesting. That's the argument. That's how it's going to be. It's going to get more and more into the public domain about the arguments of how it should be funded. And it's you out there, the public, who can make this decision whether you want to back an old racehorse dinosaur who's out of date, 100 years out of date, and you have to pay because it's tax. It's a taxable thing. You're on about Russia, talking about Russians that don't pay a TV license. They have to watch state news, whether they like it or not. So we don't want to be coming to that situation, but it's totally out of date with the present young generation of people who will decide in the long term whether to pay the license fee or not, and they'll be going somewhere else like I am on YouTube or something like that. So anyway, folks, I hope you found it interesting. It's a bit of a long video, but I just had to sort of make the point. That's what I think Richard made. He was very, very good, and the people on the program, you know, it got the message across what everybody is actually feeling. I think, you know, it was a good debate, basically, on Good Morning Britain. You know, good debate, and that's what people are thinking, I think, and it's going to go on and go on till this license fee ends. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and like button and stuff and all the stuff. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there and I'll go to the next one. Bye now.
Please subscribe and give me a like, and helps out the channel a hell of a lot. Subscribe to the channel. It does help a hell of a lot. Thank you very much. Bye now.